Hello. Before beginning today's topic, I'd like to share with you that you are a genius, you are special, you mean the world, and you are loved. Today's topic is, well, I just had it, the hard side that really is easy. We're talking about the dark side of the moon. We're talking about unity. We're talking about infinity. We're talking about creating your infinity. I'm talking about living from the heart, ladies and gentlemen. I've made a video about what my experience is from living from the heart, what is it that I'm experiencing, how I do it. And this video is just to tell you that it is the most unknown and known thing that exists to us. Human beings have existed many, 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 many times in this planet. We go through cycles. We go through cycles of very conscious and very unconscious human beings. We're lucky in that we're getting to live a time where we are in the middle. We can look back at 50 years and talking about imagination was ludicrous. Go back 100 years, like 200 years maybe, in the 1800s, and people couldn't even talk about their memories because you could be looked at as a witch. And now fast forward to present day, we have doctors, mystics. We have doctors looking at the mystical, and we're seeing amazing things happening. We're seeing the upregulation of genes, of genes that go to cancer cells and destroy them. We're looking at our telometers just by meditation being being lengthened. If your telometers lengthened by 10%, you've gotten 10% of your life back. What caused this? Meditation. So we're looking at the mystical. We're looking at the brain. We're looking at the universe and thinking, hey, I think this is the conscious thing. We're thinking there's a little bit more to this that we previously thought. We're looking at, there's so much science now revolving consciousness and waking up your consciousness that there's no going back. In 100 years, our kids are going to know how to utilize their heart to maintain elevated emotions before they can count, before they can do multiplication, division, hopefully before they can read, and very much so, hopefully, before they can use a phone. Now, I say the dark side. That's just to lure us in to think that, oh, this is something, scary or difficult, right? But let's look at the paradigm. To think is not to think is to think. That's a very common paradigm. It's an energetic state. That's what I look at it as. And in that paradigm, you kind of feel infinite, right? The thought streams, the thought stream reveals to you, like, every day you wake up and like whenever you go to sleep, that you're this like all being, omnipresent being. And not to say that it's not true, but it's a little bit of an illusion. With that paradigm, but let's not get into it. The importance is, how do you step into that paradigm? You decide, right, unconsciously. Or there's many of you consciously. I once did it consciously. I've done it consciously and unconsciously in my past. So, we can have a party. But what sensation and how do you step into it? Well, once you've agreed, whether consciously or unconscious, to step into the world of, I'm going to not utilize my internal systems and tools in lieu of them enhancing my life, we step into this infinite realm. And the heart is very much like it is. And I like to paint you a picture of both. So let's talk about the mental paradigm. This paradigm, we are stepping into it, are we not? We are accepting, we're giving A up to go to B. I'm going to do this in order to be in this state of consciousness, correct? So this tells us that this state of consciousness already exists. And let's call this state of consciousness an ocean. And let's give it any color you want. Now let's put it aside. Now your heart is something very similar. Now, to those more conscious, I understand there are many ways to utilize your heart, but I'm speaking about my experience and the best way that I have found to utilize it. In how have I found out to use it? Well, in an infinite basis, changing from space-time to a time-space reality by accepting the heart, and what I do with it is around the clock, hence moving from space-time to time-space, around the clock, creating an elevated emotion. This can only be done through the heart. And it feels very much the same. So it's this infinite state where it's just like the energy is fluid and I observe myself creating this sensation internally and it creating itself, because the true way to use the heart is in a very effortless way. So let's call this side, this ocean, another color. But notice the reason why this ocean from the heart is one that you choose the color, because this one you have to be conscious. Did you notice that I said I consciously decided the elevated emotion? I created it. And then I accepted to make it in my infinite state. So what does that mean? That now my heart, the ocean that's available through the heart, you first have to engineer. You have to test yourself out and see what is my greatest potential? How amazing can I make myself feel? And then you dive into it. Very much so how you did the other side, the brain. So the reason why also I say the dark side, because you go through like it's a very interesting time for all those masters out there, healers and beautiful souls that are utilizing their heart. You know there comes a time when you're creating from the heart and you know your energy is just flowing and you're creating effortlessly, that you hit that point where it feels like you're going to explode or implode. You're just literally going to go into this infinite world that has no more logical, the brain cannot logically conceptualize where it's going. Well, I have the answer for you. The reason we have that sensation, the reason it feels infinite, for those of you that are going to step into your heart infinitely, the reason it feels like that is because let's look at the two instruments we have. We have the brain that is constantly, sending us signals about our even interior and exterior life. And then we have the heart. Well, science shows that the heart is 60 times more powerful than the brain. So it is to say that the brain cannot conceptualize what the heart can do. So whenever you use the brain to consciously decide what you want to infinitely create using your heart, there will come a little time lapse where you might feel some fear, and that's just because you're breaking out from a electromagnetic instrument to a much greater one. So it cannot conceptualize the transition. And what does it do? It relates in the best way it can, and it gives you that feeling of, oh boy, I don't know where I'm going, but this is so exciting because I know I started this journey and I'm consciously creating this, so here I go, and you dive in. So this video today has been to talk about how the dark side is really easy to live in, especially when you use your heart and fine-tune yourself to a very loving, elevated emotion that you choose, that you create. I hope this video has been to your liking. I hope it's been beneficial. I hope it motivates you to dive into yourself. If it's not to the heart yet, well, start using your brain. Start tapping into your imagination, that lightning sensation you can create, the third eye, and just simply thoughts if you wish to be that way. And then allow those ideas and tools to then step into your heart, into your infinite creation. That you're not having to surrender to be infinite, you have to be empowered to be infinite. I'm gonna say that one more time. You don't have to surrender your power to be infinite, you have to empower yourself to be infinite. Share this with your loved ones, share this with your mastermind group, with your small group of friends, and comment below. What is the dark side to you? What is the light side to you? Do you access your heart? Do you use your heart? Also share with me topics you'd like me to cover in the future. I'd love to get to them all. And now I invite you to join my family. My family, we are individuals that live from the heart and are masters at teaching the art of living from the heart. And we invite you today to join our family to feel this infinite, empowered state and create abundance, love, happiness in your life. With this membership comes with 2 meditations daily, a weekly meditation, and a monthly meditation. I hope to see you on the brighter side. Goodbye.